episode 2 of my knitting adventures. So if you tuned in last time, thank you for joining me again. And if you're new, welcome. I'm gonna go over some finished objects first, and then we'll go over the whips and then some possible cast-ons later down the road. So last time I had just cleaned out my closet and I had a pile of unfinished objects, and I had to go through them and figure out what I was going to continue working on and if I was going to get rid of anything. And I did end up frogging the, what was it called? The Springtime Essential Top by Lion Brand Yarn. And I have decided to use that bluish colored cotton bamboo yarn in a new project, so I will show that to you shortly. And I did finish one project from last time and have been working on a couple other ones. So first thing that I finished that I was super happy about is my daughter's blankets, and this was with the Cascade Heathers yarn. So this is what it looks like after it's been blocked. It's showing up a little more pink on screen than it is. Oh no, sorry, this isn't the Cascades yarns. This was Elemental Affects Cormo. That's what this one was, in Raspberry Ice. But it's got this really pretty, just little fan lace pattern. It was actually a very simple pattern to just kind of memorize and just go with. It just took a while. So I used 2 hanks of that yarn, and I just did it till I was just about finished, and I knew that I would have plenty left over to finish off this edging. So I just still have a little bit of that left, not really enough to do anything else with. But we got that done, which is good because hopefully it'll start getting cooler here pretty soon, and it is super duper soft. In between that and working on some of the other unfinished objects that have now made their way back into the whip pile, I made my daughter a pair of socks, and this was just a simple little sock pattern, and this is with some of the hand spun yarn that I showed in my last episode. And I have not, all right, took care of the dogs, hopefully. I'm not sure if they saw a cat, squirrel, what it was, but they were going crazy. Anyways, baby socks. I have not spun any yarn since the last episode. Hopefully I will get some more spun up at some point. I still have a lot of fiber bats left that I had blended from samples from Fat Fiber Box and such. But anyways, that was that. And then I was seeing this little guy everywhere, and I had to make him. I was kind of wanting a break from knitting and wanted to do a little crochet project, and my son absolutely loves it. It is this little Grim Reaper little crochet character, and he was super easy. This is just an acrylic yarn, and then this is just like a little skewer that I had cut up, and this is some homespun yarn. It was the only silverish looking yarn that I could find to make that part with. But yeah, he came out super duper cute, and my son loves him. So I'm having to make something for the other 2 boys now. And then another thing that I decided to make, I was going to try my hand at writing a pattern, and it did not go over very well. I came out with some pretty interesting parts of this, but anyways, this was some more hand spun yarn that I had shown you. Did I show it to you last time? Maybe showed it to you last time, I'm not sure. But this was just with a bunch of samples that I had, and I made my daughter a little hat. And this is completely just free form. I did not go buy a pattern with this. As you can see, it's a little wonky with the increases and decreases. I was trying to do some sort of like a little lace pattern, and I wasn't sure what I was really going for, but it ended up that, let's see if I can show you here. This section right here kind of ended up looking like a butterfly. And then this section right here kind of ended up looking like a little puppy paw. So we've got puppy paws and butterflies on this hat. And then this was just the I-cord because I wanted to get some of the glittery portions of the yarn in there, and I just tied it off on the top. She hates it. She doesn't want to wear it on her head, but it looks super cute. So I will try to get her to keep it on for long enough so that I can take a picture and post it to Instagram. And then again, just working on some more squares. So with the leftover yarn from the hat, we got another little granny square. And then I had also got these two out of a couple other sample yarns and some homespun that I had. Add them to the pile. Now for works in progress, I have been working on the Linen Stitch hand towel by Pearl Soho, and I tell you, it's not that it's a hard stitch pattern to follow. It's just that it's so time consuming. I don't think that I will ever do this to myself ever again. Maybe at some point if I'm feeling crazy, but I have not gotten very much further on this than I was last time, as you can see. And I really need longer needles for this, and I don't think I have any longer needles, but this is, I've gotten maybe this much further since the first time I showed it to you. And I'm just gonna run it out till I don't have much green left. I'm gonna add probably a nice thick stripe with the red. So do the 2-color linen stitch with the red and the green, and then finish it off with the rest of the green, and then call it. And weave in the ends and put it in the kitchen. The other one that you did see last time that I finally picked up to start working on since I made the Grim for my oldest son is Tarragon the Dragon. So he's actually come a long way. I have all of his pieces done and ready to sew together. So this is how far we have come. He has got his tail sewed on. I have his little spikes, or whatever you want to call them, sewn onto his back. And I'm thinking that after I have everything together, I'm probably going to wet these and lay him on his side and try to pin these out to get them to stick up a little bit more, because they're really just folding over. And I know that if I wet them and kind of try to block it somewhat, that they will stand up more erect like they're supposed to. And this piece I had made way too long. It came out to like here, so I had to rip it back a lot. So these are a little bit bigger on his tail than they were supposed to be, because they started out small like this and then got bigger and then decreased in size again at the end. But because I don't know what I did. I probably just did way too many of this size in between. And then we've got one of his wings on, and then I've got his legs and his arms and his other wing in here that just need to get sewn on. It's just very tedious to sew everything together. But my son is very, very happy with him, and he's super cute. I cannot remember what yarns I was using for him. I want to say that this is a Cascade yarn. I think this is a Cascade heathered yarn, but I am not sure, because I believe these two yarns were either like yard sale finds, thrift store finds, or they were given to me as like a big lot of yarn. I don't remember. I don't have a label for them or anything like that. But this one is kind of like a blue and green, and I believe that is a Cascade heather yarn. And then this one is definitely got like some speckles of different colors in it, but it's a little more rough than this one is. Yeah, not sure, but they go together really good, and my son is going to love it. And then my next cast on that I have been working with, that I just kind of needed a break here and there from, is the Tip Top tank by Emily Baldwin, Maker. This is the pattern here. It is a free Ravelry pattern download, and I am not making the cropped version. I'm not confident enough in my midsection to do too many cropped items. So I am making mine a little bit longer. Otherwise, I would have started the straps already, but this is what I am using the cotton bamboo yarn for that I ripped or frogged from the Spring Essential top. So this is how far I've gotten, and it is pretty much just a 1x1 rib on the bottom with a split seam on the sides here. So you start with these two pieces and then you join them together in the round, and then you start your stockinette stitch, and then it's just got like a little cute little pearl detail on each of the sides here. And this is something that I can just grab, sit down, watch a show, and just knit away on. It's pretty kind of a mindless knit because it's mostly stockinette, so you can just go and you don't have to worry about doing anything too intricate. I'm hoping that some of these spots where I joined new yarn on, I weaved in the ends as I went, and it's a little bit wonky on the outside here. So I'm hoping that once I block it, that will kind of straighten itself out a little bit. But this yarn is really, really nice for this because it's very drapey, but I think it's gonna be nice and cool too. It's thicker, but I think it's still gonna be cool because of the material and the drape to it, and it's super duper soft. So I'm excited to get this finished, and hopefully my next episode I will have it done and I will be able to show it off. I'm planning on doing these probably every 2 weeks. I am a little late on this one. I wanted to do it for a couple days now, and I just hadn't gotten a chance to getting around to it. Florida's got a hurricane coming, so we've been getting everything prepared for that, getting everything cleaned up outside. That's why the trailer is behind me outside there. But anyways, I think every 2 weeks is a pretty good bet for me to actually have something done different from the previous episode, just because I don't have a whole lot of time because I do work from home and with the kids and everything. So I should be able to have some finished objects, some of the whips that you'd seen previously, and then hopefully some, you know, newer cast-ons that you hadn't seen yet, if I do it like that. So projected projects in the future, I'm going to take this blue-green yarn from the Dragons, Spines, Wings, and make a pair of mittens for my mom. I've still got a good chunk of this left. So I'm gonna try to find, this is definitely more like an Aran worsted weight. So I'm gonna try to find a nice pair of a mitten pattern and get a pair of mittens knitted up for my mother for this winter, because she is up in Vermont and it does get cold. So she does need a nice pair of mittens. So that is one plan for this. I just need to find the pattern still. And then I think this is going to be possibly my next cast on. I'm not sure. I do have a crochet project in mind for my middle boy, because the Dragon's for my youngest boy. My middle boy, I found a cute little, I don't know how you pronounce it. Is it amigurumi? Anyways, those little crochet toys, it's a jumping spider, and it's super cute. And I think I'm gonna try to find, I think I have some like small bits of like fuzzy furry kind of yarn that I could do for like his little eyebrows, which would be super duper cute. So that is definitely on my list in my favorites on Ravelry right now. I just need to order some safety eyes for him and try to figure out what color yarns I want to use. I'm trying to use up all my partial skeins that I have. I've got a bag, the like comforter bags, the bags that comforter sets come in when you purchase them. I've got one of those pretty much full of partial skeins right now. So I'm trying to figure out what I can do with all of that, and these little crochet projects seem to be working out pretty good for that. So I'm gonna look through that, see if I can find anything. If I can't, I may have to purchase more yarn, and my husband's just gonna have to deal with it. And then another project that I had in mind, I have been drooling over this yarn in my stash for so long. It's this Mayak Fibers. This is the Baby Yak in chocolate, and I have 2 hanks of this, and this is just so I don't know, scrumptious. You're not gonna eat it, but it's just, it's so soft, it's luxurious, and I just really need to make something with it. So I was trying to find a pattern for these 2 hanks of yarn, and I came across, I wanted something fancy because it is a solid color, so lace work, cables, stuff like that will show up really nicely with it. So I found a pattern on Ravelry, and this is also a free Ravelry pattern, and this is Molly Hat by Erin Ruth. So it's this really pretty textured and cabled beanie hat, and I think that this yarn is going to look absolutely amazing with those textures and just be super soft, and I'll be able to wear it for the couple weeks in January that we have weather down here that's cold enough to wear a hat in. But anyways, I'm hoping to have that cast on within the next couple weeks, and maybe even finished to show you guys for the next episode. So that is all I have to share for right now. I know it's not much. Like I said, I have a lot of other stuff going on right now, so it's kind of, you know, little bits here and there that I actually get to sit down and knit. It takes me days to finish one episode of Outlander while I'm knitting, so it's definitely a process to get one project finished. And the bigger projects I have to break up with little projects because I get bored with it. Not necessarily bored with it, but it's just so monotonous, and I need that gratification of having something finished. It makes me feel good. Anyways, everybody that knows, if you know, you know. But anyways, let me know down in the comments what you think of my projects, if you have any ideas for me, if you know any good mitten patterns for the Aran worsted weight yarn. I believe there's probably between, I want to say between like probably like 180. I'd say I probably got about 180 yards left of that yarn based on its current weight and how many yards are typically in a 100 gram skein of Aran weight yarn. And my dogs have the zoomies out back. I'm not sure what they're going after, but anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.